I don't usually do antics at trial, although sometimes I do, and today it paid off. I had a client who was charged with 2 counts of felony indecent assault and battery and 1 count of assault and battery. Now, he was working at his job, and the person that accused him of sexually assaulting her was also in the same workspace. She was also working. Now, his defense was that the touching was either incidental or implied consent. Now, the 3 touchings were 2 slaps of the butt, and that's what he argued was incidental and not on purpose, if it happened at all. And the 3rd touching was my client allegedly touching the person on her side. Now, for that, he said there was essentially an implied consent, that she appeared to be wanting to do a partial hug. And so he admitted it. He admitted it both to the police and he admitted it to the jury when he testified. He chose to testify. And so basically, as part of the argument, I wanted to demonstrate to the jury, and here comes the antic, if you will. And I had a co-counsel, Chris was representing the client with me, he was second chairing me, and then I had the client. And I made sure to ask the client if he was okay with it before I did this sort of antic. The antic was, when it came time to closing argument, I was doing the arguing and I was doing the questioning, but the judge said, okay, defense, your turn. So I'm sitting back here, co-counsel, client. My co-counsel stands up, goes up to the jury as if he's going to give an argument, and instead, I come up a couple seconds later, pat him on the back, and I say, I got this. And he goes back, sits next to the client, and that's when I proceed to tell the jury about how you don't always need explicit consent to touch somebody, as long as the societal norms, the culture, the nature of the relationship you have call for sort of an implied consent. Imagine, otherwise everybody would be charged with assault and battery. Anytime you go and see your friend and pat him on the shoulder and say, hey, how you doing? Anytime you go into a crowded subway and you try to get to an open space and you brush up against somebody, that could otherwise be an assault and battery. So basically it was a demonstration, if you will. It was a little bit out there. It's not something everybody would do, but I felt like the jury really needed to have some sort of an exhibit, so to speak. Just see it in real time. It was kind of natural. And in fact, one of the jury members even gave me a smile as I was saying, hey, I got this, and slapping the guy in the back. So all in all, it worked out well, and the jury found my client not guilty of every single count.